Shanbo, Shanbo, Shanbo. Hello. I open myself to a field of love and light. And I allow for my highest self, my true self, to incarnate into the body fully and be present here and now. I open my heart. I let the light of the sun and of my inner child radiate into my field. And I claim this moment for myself and myself alone. And I invite whomever might be watching this to step into the field and enjoy this place where there are no rules. I have no rules in this field except for my own rule and truth. And I will paint today on this wonderful, exquisite painting of mine. And zip. Take this off. That's too intense for now. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho, Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho, Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho. Dum, dum, da-da-dum. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho, la la la. Oh. Oh, you got me watching you. So many miles to see your face. I've got a feeling I can't change it. And I'm in something. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh yeah, alright. Try to make sense of it all tonight. Oh no, here we go. This won't be the last time. Oh yeah, alright. Try to make sense of it all tonight. Oh no, here we go. This won't be the last time. And the truth is you don't know, but in my heart inside you to the ground. Burn yourself with weights to hold you down. One day you're bound to go, to go. And the truth is you don't know. No matter how hard you tie your feet to the ground, burden yourself with weights to hold you down. One day you're bound to go, to go. And the truth is you don't know. You know you're bound to go someday, bound to fly away to the open sky. You'd only open an eye, you would wish for your own shine. Da 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 da. I can't go any longer yet, because I'm still afraid to be heard on the camera. I'm still a little bit afraid to be heard on the camera. So I'm gonna continue doing my thing, because I'm here for me, myself, and I. Only me, myself, and I is what matters. Only me, myself, and I, that's the matter. I have some water in the bladder, but only me, myself, and I is what matters. Only me, myself, and I is what matters. And the love for this life, the love for my painting, the love for myself, and the love for what's awaiting. To shine bright on a hill, on a mountain. Oh yeah, we are going wild, wild with this world. Da, da. It's a nightmare. Oh, I don't know. I don't know any of the answers to the questions in my heart. I don't know how to get this started. How to get this started. how to get this going. Yeah. Hoo, shoo, 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 Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shiva Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shiva Shambho. Oh. She's saying I'm the answer, nothing to look for. I am the answer. Already, I am the answer. I am the question. I am the truth. Oh yeah. No more seeking. No more seeking answers. Lay all your love on me. Don't go sharing your devotion. Lay all your love on me. I wasn't jealous before we met. Now everyone I see is a potential threat. Can we forget about the fact that we're live streaming? So I can go out, all out. Yes, we can. We don't have to care. We don't have to care that we are visible. We can actually just care for me, myself, this moment, whatever it brings. We don't have to be understood. We don't have to be wise. We don't have to be perfect. We are all of that in our very own nature, each and every moment of our lives. We don't have to pretend it is so. It is so. Each and every moment of our very own lives. Perfection and grace are one and the same. Ooh. I hope this goes up afterwards. Chinese ink. I'm not sure. Maybe it's bound to stay. Ooh, we fell out of ourselves again. Once again, we fell out of ourselves and we were caught up in a performance. A performance. What is a performance? When we are acting, consciously or unconsciously so, we were caught in a performance. Now, life is not meant to be a performance. And I am currently not performing. I don't wish to perform any longer. I just wish to express myself exactly the way I am in each and every moment. And a performance is meant to be seen. I am meant to be seen, but in a different way. Not in a performance. I am meant to be blossoming, whether or not I might be seen and watched and understood and given permission. Oh, you got me watching you. So many miles to see your face. I got a feeling I can't change it. I'm the one to sound cliche. You've been my hunting. So many people inside your dream. Have to be it. If you're feeling lonely, just call my name. You know my voice can soothe your pain. 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 This ink should go all day, as I plan to be here as long as it takes for me to be free within my own being while being seen. Oh yeah, ooh wait, alright. Oh yeah, I can keep going all night. Yeah. Ooh, there is the light. There's nothing you can do wrong. There's nothing you ever can do wrong. There's nothing you ever can do wrong. These tears, I hope they don't dry. I hope they don't dry. I hope my painting cries forever. These tears, I hope they don't dry. I hope they don't dry. Ha! Ah, ha, ha, ha. Oh, I wish I could be more fun. Constantly evaluating, constantly. Is this real? Is this real? It's good. Is this real? Is this true? Is this right? Is this right or so or not or so? Oops, I did it again. I I played with my heart, got lost in the clay. Oh baby, baby, oops, I think I'm in love. Dancing from above, I am that innocent. Oh baby, baby, how was it supposed to know? Something wasn't right here. Oh baby, baby, I should have let you go. It's not the way I planned it. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now. Because my loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign, baby, one more time. Oh, baby, baby, the reason I live is you. Not the way I planned it. And I must confess, I still believe. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Sounds until I can speak the truth. Sounds until the truth is there. We don't need to be talking. We don't even need to open our mouth. We can just be in silence. Shh. Shh. Stop thinking about it. Stop thinking. It was to be like this. I just want to be like this. I yawn with my hand in front of my mouth because I'm a polite person. Meow. 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 too late. Baby, don't you know? Da-da-da-dum-dum. Na-na-na-na. Ba-da-boom, chee-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Shall we ever get lost in our minds? Shall we ever get lost in the world? You're free, you're free, you're free to do it anyway. You're always free, so free. Oh, now I can see myself. Oh, you can't see this painting very well, can you? Not that much better. I am the one to create this painting, to create this artwork, to create this life. I affirm myself and I confirm myself and I admire myself and I love myself. And I give myself full permission to be weird and crazy, and to be fragile and ashamed. And I shall overcome someday. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. We shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Da 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 da. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Dum, 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 dum. We might be streaming full day. All day long. Until I get enough of it and I want to go and do something else. Something more interesting. Something less nerve-wracking. Is this nerve-wracking? Yes, a little bit. Just a tiny bit, bitsy bit. Why? I don't know myself. I do know myself. I do know who I am. I do know who I am. I very much know who I am. And I'm here to share myself. But it's just, sharing oneself is the scary part. Knowing oneself is easy. Knowing oneself is easy. It's the easiest thing I have done in my life. Although it took me quite some time. This nut doesn't want to stay. And there's too many things in my way. Get out of my way. Okay. Now show me what you got. Ooh, I like that. I like it. I like it a lot. In fact, we shall overcome someday. I have a suspicion you need to be closer to actually be able to see what at all I am doing here. This is already a little bit better. This would be good, I think. Now let's light it up and see how does this look. Aha, this is good. Now you can see what's up. What is really up with this painting? Oh no. My pen dipped into the Chinese ink. We shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Where is my needle? Ah, I'm gonna be sitting in your way once again. Maybe not. We'll walk hand in hand someday. We'll walk hand in hand someday. No, I will not care. I will not care. I see my light come shine from the western to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Oof. They say every man needs protection. They say every man must fall. So I swear I see my reflection on every man inside these walls. I see my light come shining, dawn from the west unto the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. What is this thread doing here? What the fuck? Where the fuck did you come from? Ah, that's it. We got this. My little baby self is appearing on the canvas. My little baby self is appearing on the canvas. She's red today. She's red and a little bit strange today. It's like she's hung. She's hung herself. It need not make sense already, but it will at some time. At some point, all of this will make sense. Everything in your life will make sense at some point. Ooh, yeah. Whenever the time is right, all of it will make sense. Giddy up until then. You just gotta keep on believing. in yourself and in other people's goodness, because that is all we have. So get it up, just keep believing in yourself and in other people's goodness, because that is all we have. All we have. New energies entering the body in the form of tension on my heart. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I see fire inside the mountains. I see fire burning the trees. And I see fire holy soul. And I see fire blood in the breeze. And I hope that you remember. No, I don't remember you, Ed Sheeran. Your time is long gone. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Where shall we go with this play? Where shall we go? Doesn't really matter anyway. I'm aware that I'm being watched, babies. I'm aware of you. You watching me or listening to me. And I'm aware of your thoughts. What on earth is she thinking? Only your thoughts. Oh yeah. Ooh, I like it. Mm-hmm. Like some dust. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so happy. Every little cell in my body is happy and well. I'm hungry for cake. I am hungry for cake. But I don't want to eat sugar too much. It's not good for me. I woke up at 3 a.m. tonight. Not because I wanted to, just because my body dictates you shall awake. So I did. And I did some sadhana, yogic practices. And then I went to the bakery for cake. I wanted to get a beautiful pie with chocolate and fruits, red fruits preferably. But I didn't get it because the bakery wasn't open yet. Which is sad because it would have suited this painting so well. A chocolate fruit cake and this painting. And me eating. And it reminded me, the chocolate cake, of Bridgerton, the series that I've been watching about princesses and earls and dukes and whatnot. And I want to be like one of these princesses. But of my own kind, a little more unrestricted, but with the same elegance and the same. What is it that I like about them? Their dresses, for sure. Their dresses and rubies and stones. Their luxuries. Also, their way of speaking. I enjoy it. I enjoy their way of speaking and communicating, and I would like to learn from that. The British English. We can tap into some Bridgerton ladies. Lady Whistledown. Ow! They talk a lot about gossip in that series, which is also interesting. And it is about the pressure that society puts on a person, which I can very well relate to. And now we're going to do something risky. I'm going to tie this from the back to the front and all the way to the back again. Yep, why not? And if ever one of these strings breaks, then the whole painting is disrupted. So no, I don't want to do that. It is too risky. Too much risk. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell. Ah, I don't know what to do with this thread. I'm getting acquainted with the concept of live streaming, and maybe I will do this from now on every day. Just to be in my own space, in my highest self embodiment, while being observed. Every little sound in the heart is happy. And we're looking for a wild child. There's been this wild child with me, and I'm looking for her. If she perhaps wants to say something. Something a little bit interesting. Something a little bit odd and exciting and true. What if we flip this? Ooh, we like it. Ooh, it's bright. So bright. Scissors. Scissors. Oh. Got some ink. Should be careful with the ink. A friend of mine called this work sinister. Actually, multiple people who have seen it called it sinister. So maybe. Ow. What shall I do? This drunken sailor. Practice. Mm. So I've been noticing the importance of pride lately. So pride as in keeping your chest up. And I cannot be doing anything else while I'm talking about it. Okay, finally. There was a person in my hallway, and I find it distracting to talk when someone is right near me doing other things and hearing me. So I wanted to speak of pride and the importance of keeping your chest lifted. And it's something you should just give a try, I feel, because it's a very physical difference. And for me, this is the feeling of pride, keeping your heart lifted and keeping your heart open and also your chin up. And it makes you feel so much better to just sit and stand in pride. Be proud of myself, of who I am, of what I'm here to offer. It's almost like an offering to be in pride, to offer your heart, to offer your voice, to offer your mind to the sky. Whereas this is self doubt, worry, insecurity, invisibility, not wishing to be seen. And I've been repeating some affirmations for myself, and one of them is just to keep my heart up. And so throughout the day, sometimes my body remembers, even without my mind going around that thought or thinking of pride or thinking about openness, but just literally body goes like, I should keep my heart up. And immediately when I do this, it feels like my whole field is stabilizing. And there was just someone watching this live stream like 10 minutes ago or so that felt very good to my field. I think someone entered and even transmitted some energy intentionally. Or I just got some kind of psychic download or something from above and beyond into my system. But suddenly I felt like my whole energetic presence was different and my field was more calm and relaxed. And this pride, heart openness came through. So thank you to that person or whatever that energy was. Sometimes it's also when I get a lot of money that I feel my heart relaxing, or something significant happens energetically somewhere that will impact my life and my future, then I just feel this heart opening, and then later I discover that at that exact moment something significant was going on. So that could be the case as well. Maybe someone really enjoyed watching me, enjoyed this painting, wants to send me to a gallery in New York, or who knows what. And I think I'll be going to Kailash in May. If I reach timely. But it's for sure a calling to visit the sacred mountain. And for those of you who don't know Kailash, it's a place with tons of history and interesting stories in yogic lore, where, as far as I understand, it is impossible to return the same person after going there. And also, it's a place where various different religions and indigenous cultures go and make sacrifices or offerings because it's just generally recognized as a sacred place. So everyone who has some kind of open perception can see that this place is vast and impactful and beyond our understanding. And I'm called to go there and have my life changed, apparently. And it's even the source of me just sitting here and doing all of this and being expressive and sharing more of my truth on the internet. And I'm growing proud of myself because of Kailash. That is a beautiful evolution. Proud to the extent where it doesn't actually matter anymore. Whatever happens in my life, I'll be fine. And pride is not necessarily important for all people, but for me it is. Because I, for a long time, haven't been a really proud person. I've been like okay type level of confidence, but not proud of myself and not confident actually. And it has to do with the fact that I'm really weird. And that this phrase, what are the odds? I feel like I am the odds in this existence in comparison to most of the people that surround me. And I'm rarely understood, but that's kind of nice and it's fun. But it's also exhausting on the social level. And I met one being 2 days ago on an ecstatic dance, and we had a very nice conversation. We were talking about walking through the scariest gate of all, and he had walked through it. And he told me, now I lost it. You maybe remember what I was going to say? Shouldn't get off track. Should not be going off track when I'm onto something. So I sat for an hour yesterday with Shiva's Rudraksha. So there's this necklace, a mala, it's called, and it has a specific type of beads. And those beads were energized, consecrated with the energy of Kailash. And so every time I do this, there's an intense processing phase of that energy. And I just feel it sitting in my body without having conscious access to it somehow. It's like it's there, it's doing things, I can feel it as tension, as energy, but it's not yet in expression, in my expression, in what I am. And then a week or so, or a couple of days later, suddenly there's an explosive energy, and a whole new part of myself awakens, and a whole different expression, a whole new embodiment. And so last time when that happened, I was at the beach and there was suddenly this wild child coming through. I was sitting at the beach painting and there was no one around because it was super misty. So everyone left the beach, went looking for shelter, and you couldn't see more than 2 meters ahead. So I just heard the sea, even though I was like 5 meters from the shore. Um, and then this energy kicked in, and I became the weirdest version of myself that I've ever seen, and the most free. And I enjoyed myself so much. And I enjoyed saying whatever came to mind, and I was singing, and I felt so free. And I tapped into that energy a few days later again. And it feels like the truest version of myself. It feels like everything else is performance in comparison to this wild child awakening. Yet, I still don't fully believe or allow myself to believe that I always have instant access to that energy, even though I know I do. I know that I do because it is my core. It is my core self, and it is the truth that I came here to be and bring and share. And the only thing that stands in the way of it is shame and perfectionism. So trying so hard to get something right. Which is why I paint and I create art. Because this is the realm of no rules. And it's the realm of being true to Shakti, being true to life force energy and the way it is guiding us. So I genuinely don't look at what I'm doing when I paint, and I don't evaluate. I might have thoughts about whether I like something or not, but the rule for me is to not care about those thoughts. So it's literally just doing something, and whatever comes is the right thing. And while I was at the beach, I discovered that if I don't like something that I put onto the canvas, then I should double down on it. So if I don't like my expression, I just make it stronger and more intense and trust it even more. And then interesting things happen. So what if we apply that to oppression, expression in the spoken realm? If I don't like something I say, I just double down on it. I'll give that a try. I will give that a try, for sure. And so, I don't know what is going to happen in my life. I have a supposition that in 2 weeks I will go to Nepal and be in Devi Temple. And hopefully, if it so happens, I can find a yatra in May to visit Kailash, because I simply cannot wait until August. And I'm an impulsive person, which works very well for me. I follow my impulses and they guide me correctly. They guide me to my happiness. And so right now the impulse feels to just leave Belgium for a while. Not necessarily to leave Belgium, more so just to go to Nepal. That was already cleared. Devi was calling. But also to visit Kailash, to just get it over with. Because anyway, that is what my whole reality is moving towards at this point. And I must trust that the mountain will make it happen whenever it is time for me to go, and understand that whatever comes in advance is the necessary preparation for me to be there in full receptivity. But something in me also says that that is just nonsense that my mind is making up. And there is really no way to prepare for an energy like this. And it's just, once I'm there, everything else dissolves. Kailash. And I wonder, another topic that I wanted to talk about in relation to pride comes up is gossip. Because I myself, I can feel it when people are thinking about me or feeling about me. And in times where I expand and I do something radical, or that appears radical to some others, and there is activity around my name, it just feels like some kind of unspoken clutter in my energy field. And when people are resistant to my energy, even if they're not aware of it themselves, it also feels like that. Just clutter. And the thing is, there's really no way to navigate around that, because people are always going to have resistance to some extent to what and who I am. And I am just learning not to create too much emotion around it for myself, and to let it feel uncomfortable, misunderstood, intense, and not solve anything. So I want to sell these paintings, and I want to reach Kailash. And I want to be more visible in all possible ways. And I want people to be less blind to what I am. What do I mean when I say I want people to be less blind to what I am? Sometimes it feels like people simply don't want to get it. And I'm like, I'm hesitating to say this, but part of me is like, are you just stupid? But no one is stupid, I guess. Just a little bit unconscious. And the social pressure is so immense. To most of us, it is so undeniably strong force. Like the sheep's herd. And I should wish to release myself from that entire realm of social coherence and convenience. And within me, I am free from that. I will always make the aligned choices. I will always speak my truth when it's needed. I remain in my own energy. But to be expressive, to wish oneself to be seen in a not socially coherent energy. That is the learning. Pride. Pride and prejudice. I'm wondering what I should do with the rest of my day. Feels like I should just stay here and continue this process. Feels like maybe we're heading somewhere with this whole live stream, after all. Though I would also enjoy some sleep. I feel most people are too proud of their own ideas. And generally, I'm an advocate for being proud of your own ideas, I guess. But I feel like this has something to do with authority. And I have natural authority. In many ways, it's always been like that. And also within certain areas of life. I feel like I've gained clarity. A certain clarity of vision, especially with regards to how people behave and what in them is still to be uncovered and become conscious. So I can easily see people and see through them. And they feel my energy, which in some creates attraction and in some creates resistance. And even within the same person, this is not the same each and every day. So depending on which part of their own mind or being they are in, they will resist or feel attracted. Just as I did with Sadhguru or that dynamic. And whenever I feel or see something that is uncomfortable to acknowledge about oneself, they will definitely resist me. Even if it's not in conversation or I'm not yet addressing anything. It's just that me being there, being aware of this, starts kind of bringing that to the surface within their own awareness, which is an uncomfortable process. Sometimes becoming conscious is not always good feeling. And then all the parts of us that don't want to acknowledge how we really are, what is really going on. Like, if we learn to be ashamed of something or fear something, or that we should picture ourselves a certain way in order to be a good person, then they don't want to admit to that. So my presence becomes a canvas for projection. And it is here that I'm so frustrated with people and their arrogance. Because they make it into conflict between me and them, which inherently is not at all what is happening. And I have no pawns in the game, so to speak. There's nothing that I want to achieve, or I have no ducks in the water, is what comes up. There's no attachment to any kind of outcome for me. And maybe consciously, I do enjoy bringing people into more consciousness about themselves. But I would not force it on anyone or impose it on anyone consciously. It's just that the more conscious you yourself become, the more that becomes the nature of your presence. So people see themselves when they're around you. and depending on how willing they are to see themselves in truth, that is how much they will like me. It feels relieving to admit this, actually. That it's not my problem. And that people liking or disliking me has very little to do with what I am. It has all to do with what I am, but it has very little to do with who I am, I would say. But I can feel lonely sometimes. And then I want to be a human and act like a human and yeah, never mind about that part. I don't care. I'm very good as I am. And I really enjoy being myself. It's just that people are not necessarily comfortable around me. So that is why I enjoy being alone. And I also enjoy being around other people with boundaries and with the right ones. Hmm. So let me show you a little bit closer what's going on here. Someone's asking, do you mean you're not loyal to anyone or anything? Yeah, I guess in some way that is what I mean. What do I mean? I'm loyal to myself, and this means that sometimes I'm loyal to other people until it means that I cannot be loyal to myself anymore while being loyal to them or staying loyal to them. So, in a way, as long as loyalty serves me, I can be loyal. And it's also the case, I wrote this down yesterday, being true to myself means a different thing every day. So there's no general rule about what that means. And for a certain time in my life, it might mean that I'm loyal to some ideals and some practices or ways of living life, people, whatever. But this might also change. So when that changes, I have to still remain loyal to myself and I have to be willing to change. I'm not sure if Wonder Mouse is even still here, but I'm still responding to this question. If anyone else has questions, I'm Happy to answer. Maria. It's nice to read these comments. So guys, this is the artwork that I made today. Not sure if it's finished. Wonder Mouse. Can I explain the picture? Oh, my phone's on low battery, so most probably this live will just shut down in a few moments, but I can try to explain the picture, even though I don't make things with an explanation beforehand. I make whatever comes through and then turns out to have some kind of meaning or energetic significance afterwards. I'll film it while I'm doing this. So this started off, this is actually an interesting story. So this leg you can see here, the painted leg. I was calling with a friend and we were painting at the same time after this call without knowing this of each other. And she painted her whole leg red and I painted this part. And then an hour later we found out we'd been painting at the same time and we actually telepathically connected and kind of did a similar thing. So I made that naked woman. It was a representation of myself somehow. Throat chakra is significant here. And it was a point in which there was a lot of throat chakra awakening happening for me. And also a point in which I chose a life that is absolutely not resonant with who I am. And I became very invisible and I quit YouTube for some time and all of these things. And it had a purpose and it was, yeah, it all had its reason, but I cut that figure out and turned her around and sewed her back into the canvas, but then backwards. And recently, I decided that I want to be visible and I put lights behind that figure so she would radiate through from the inside instead of either being visible up front or being turned backwards and not visible at all. And apart from that, I don't really know what this painting is about. There's something significant with the cross figure and death. And it feels a bit like, you know, this person being crucified and then this big, there is this cross type of shape in the middle. And also here's a little hanged man or hanged woman or hanged something. No, I'm not from the Netherlands. I'm actually from Belgium. And for me, there's like billions of elements that I can go into that have some significance. But to put it generally, I feel like this is the disclosure of my full expression. Or this painting, it treats of that theme. And it relates to devotion and being in one's heart, and it relates to death and being open to the idea that we die. And it treats of sacrifice and self-sacrifice, not in a bad way, but more like crucifixion kind of way, where it's an offering made in order to become more real. And then it also treats of nature and blue throat chakra energy, Vishuddhi energy, which is very expressive and alive, and also of being tied into a specific way of being. And it seems like chaos, all of the ties that we have bound ourselves in, but a beautiful type of chaos. And then there's something about birds and blue avians, but this is only an interpretation that I'm giving it now because I didn't know of blue avians before, well, 2 to 3 weeks ago. And it's a frequency, it's an energy that is part of my field, and it's some kind of cosmic star seed lineage, or ancestry, an alien species, basically higher dimensional, that we can communicate with. I think it's time to end this stream. Festians is Belgisch of Nederlands. Yes, indeed. Vlaams. Well, people, thank you for being here, and enjoy your day.